What time is it? Thanks.
You know who they brought in last night?
Some flyer, I heard.
Oh, not just some flyer. They got Tony Shaw.
Are you certain?
Yeah, positive.
Do you know him?
Well, only like the rest of us by his reputation.
Squadron Leader Tony Shaw.
Priority classification.
It seems the Oberkommando have as high an opinion of Squadron Leader Shaw's danger to the Third Reich as do his superiors in London.
You have to be more than just a flyer to get into photo reconnaissance.
Oh, let's face it, Sam. You've got to be some kind of a nut. I mean, you're miles behind enemy lines, no sort of defence or anything.
Yeah, well, thank God for nuts like Tony Shaw. That's all I can
Well,
say.
yes, I mean, I didn't mean to denigrate him in any way.
In Quora Cafe, bitter, sir?
Oh, thank you, Hopkins.
What I don't understand is why they've sent him here to Colditz. I mean, straight off.
Because they know what they've got, that's why. And they want to make damn sure of keeping him. They won't, of course. Old Ulmann's looking a bit worried this morning. Can't say I blame him.
No question. He knows who he's got all right.
Are you sure you will have nothing, Major?
Quite sure, thank you, sir.
I have asked Hauptmann Ulmann to join us. Perhaps I should tell you, though I will leave it to him to explain why, that Ulmann is in favor of special measures for this prisoner. Come. Everything in order, Ulmann?
Yes, sir. Though I have a feeling the prisoners know, at least the British.
That's hardly surprising, I suppose.
With respect, sir, I regard it as surprising. I find the assumption that the prisoners must know as much as we do ourselves a rather disturbing one.
I'm not aware that I have made any such assumption, Major. Nor, I believe, has Hauptmann Ulmann.
Arrivals and departures have not generally been matters of top security, sir.
Except unauthorized departures, like Clare and Walsh, for example.
That goes without saying, Herr Major.
Please sit down, gentlemen. Coffee, Ulmann.
No, thank you, sir. Very kind of you.
I would like you to tell Major Mohn your precise reasons for advising extraordinary measures in the case of the new prisoner.
Certainly, sir. My reasons are twofold. First, the fact that Squadron Leader Shaw was sent direct to Colditz indicates the importance that is attached to his safe detention to the end of the war. He is one of the most highly decorated men in the Allied forces, certainly the most decorated man in Colditz, with the exception of yourself, sir.
Your second reason?
He will inevitably become a focal point for escape activity. His presence alone must considerably benefit their morale.
What are you suggesting? Solitary confinement permanently?
That is one way. It would eliminate all risk.
It seems a rather harsh expedient. Brutal, even.
Yes, sir. On consideration, I agree. There is an alternative.
Mm-hmm.
Might it not be possible in the circumstances to classify this prisoner among the prominente?
Highly irregular.
I appreciate that, sir.
The prominente are prisoners held under special security on the orders of the Fuhrer himself. They are, without exception, high-ranking Allied commanders or members of politically significant families. I cannot see how Squadron Leader Shaw, for all his military distinction, can possibly fall into either category.
Surely, sir, under the circumstances.
We cannot make and unmake official regulations at our own convenience, Ulmann. Major, your opinion.
I disagree entirely with Hauptmann Ulmann's approach, sir. He wishes to make a special case of this prisoner. But all prisoners here are special cases. That is the purpose of Colditz. At least, as I have understood it. It appears that the security officer takes a different view. Faced with a prisoner he considers to be a real threat, he feels obliged to take desperate measures. That, to me, sounds like an admission of defeat.
Sir, with respect, this prisoner...
This prisoner? What about this prisoner, this squadron leader, Shaw? Is he a Superman?
Sir, I merely wish to
You are
indicate that-
merely saying that Colditz is an insecure prison, that you are aware of the fact and that you have seen fit to do nothing about it until now.
I think, Major, you are stating Hauptmann Ulmann's position somewhat more extremely than he would himself.
I have no doubt, sir. I also believe I am stating it more accurately.
Sir, every escape and escape attempt has been thoroughly analyzed. It is quite impossible that any could be repeated.
In other words, after a sufficient number of escapes have taken place, you will at last feel confident that your precautions are adequate. But how many prisoners must first escape? All of them?
Anything else, Major?
Yes, sir. I believe that by keeping this man confined, you will create something infinitely more potent to the British mentality than a mere hero. You will create a martyr. And I do not believe we should confer that honor on Squadron Leader Shaw or on any other prisoner.
I can only repeat what I have said, sir. There is always a risk. With my plan, I believe it to be eliminated.
I incline toward Major Mohn's view. It is no part of our duty to create either heroes or martyrs here. This man's reputation goes before him as a flyer. Let's see how long it survives the confines of Colditz. I suspect not long.
So I take it my keeping a special watch on this prisoner will in no way conflict with your orders.
A very sensible precaution, I would have thought. Until we know what to expect from the gentleman.
But, sir, if they've sent him straight to Colditz, there can only be one explanation. They consider him a top security risk.
Well, if they're admitting that, they're going to be watching him like hawks.
Yes, sir, well, that's all the more reason to give Shaw's escape top priority. And with morale the way it is, I mean, if we can get him out of here under those conditions... Well, you can see what it would do for everybody here.
Well, I think we ought to hear what Shaw's got to say first.
Well, yes, sir, but I just want to know if you agreed in principle.
I think you're being a little hasty, Simon. We don't want to risk a botched-up job, do we?
Well, I think you can trust us to avoid a botched-up job, sir.
Yes. There's another thing, you know. I'm not at all sure that I like the idea of star status for any prisoner, no matter who he is. I think I'd sooner see Shaw take his place with the others, let him find his own level. You say he taught at Oxford before the war?
Yes, sir.
Well, he should fit in here quite nicely if he enjoys the cloistered life. But let him make his own decisions in his own time.
How do you do, sir? Tim
Well, this is it, I'm afraid. Home sweet home.
There's an improvement on that cell.
They must have thought you'd try to break out on your first night here.
Maybe they thought he'd try to fly out.
You might as well take this bunk here. Not too much in the way of home comforts, I'm afraid.
I've been back at school.
So they're a bit tight about the vax here. Oh, now here's the man you must meet.
Simon Carter.
How do you do?
Well, I can hardly say it's good to have you here, sir, but I think you know what I mean.
Thanks.
I'd like you to meet the senior British officer. That's Colonel Preston. If you like, we could take a stroll.
Or a pal. Seems they're getting a bit jumpy.
Can't think why.
Alles in Ordnung.
Wegtreten lassen.
Meine Herren, wegtreten. Herr Hauptmann.
Königsgesinde, attention! Dismissed!
Come on, we'll talk to Colonel Preston. Squadron Leader Shaw.
How do you do, Shaw? Let's go to my quarters, shall we?
Why not just build a pedestal in the middle of the courtyard and ask Mr. Shaw if he'd be good enough to climb onto it?
I'm sorry, Carter, but that's how I feel. I do not wish to be considered as a candidate for escape. I'm not interested.
Now look here, sir. We have certain contingency
I certainly
plans.
don't intend to be pushed into anything unwillingly.
I'm not trying to push you, sir. It's just that I would have thought a man of your reputation...
I believe I know the difference between a risk worth taking and one that is not. That, if I may say so, is why it has taken them so long to shoot me down. I admit that you proved that Colditz isn't escape-proof, but how many have got away so far? I mean, all the way back. You count them on the fingers of one hand or two?
20 men have made it, sir.
In 4 years?
Yes, sir. 8 Dutch, 7 British, 4 Frenchmen, and 1 Pole. And 2 men got away a couple of months ago. We haven't heard yet if they made it back, but you're sleeping in one of their bunks.
Shaw, nobody wants to put pressure on you. You've made your position quite clear, and I respect it.
Thank you, sir.
You're not an ordinary prisoner, sir. I mean, you saw it yourself just now in the courtyard. I mean, like it or not, that's the way it is. And your cooperation would mean a great deal, well, for general morale.
Are you trying to say it's my duty?
Yes, sir. How does one lecture a man with his record about duty?
I see what you mean.
He says he's not made for teamwork.
Well, you said as much yourself about those photo recce boys.
Just making an excuse, I think.
Well, perhaps he just wants a nice, easy war from now on.
Easy in this godforsaken place.
Easier than escaping.
Yeah, but is it? Isn't it harder to stick it out here?
You know the answer to that, son.
Oh, I just wish he was with us, that's all.
Depressed, Mr. Carter? I wonder why that could be. You were looking so pleased with yourself this morning.
Like it or not, son, it is his duty, same as the rest of us, to keep bastards like that pinned down here for the duration. Shaw may have been an ace flyer, but he's a prisoner now, and someone ought to tell him it's wrong.
The Victorian novel is basically about 2 things: getting on in life and money. Now, most of them are written, first of all, as weekly serials, so they had to hold their audience with a good story that meant something immediate to the average reader. Now, that's not as cynically commercial as it sounds, because within that framework, they managed to explore virtually every aspect of human relationships. Even sex was there. Yes, heavily disguised, of course, as swirling water, with the heroine drowning in terror and the hero churning to the rescue astride a plank of wood with a large paddle. It was true. But you see, the point I'm making is this, that literature is never something divorced from life. whether as an entertainment or as a work of art. On the contrary, it arises out of a desire to express one's feelings about life and to increase one's understanding of it. So let's turn to...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Please go on.
Oh, we're talking about the Victorian novel.
Ah, rather my subject.
Well, why don't you join us?
I'd be delighted.
Excellent. My name is James Porteous. How do you do?
How do you do?
Let me introduce everybody. This is Harry.
No,
And
please, stay where you are. We'll pick up names as we go along. Please continue, Porteous. I'll just sit and listen.
Well, I think perhaps you might do better than that. I mean, you have admitted that it is your subject. There we are.
You're not going to set me to work already.
Nobody here, so we can talk. It's not bad, is it?
I wouldn't have believed it. What shall I do with this lot?
Oh, just put them on the table. I'll see to them.
So you were a schoolmaster before the war?
Yes. Yes, I had hoped for a university post like yourself, but, well, didn't work out. And I enjoy teaching, wherever it is.
Even here, by the look of it.
Yeah, especially here.
What you might call a captive audience. I presume this library is for the use of everyone.
Oh, yes, and you'll be surprised how many make use of it, despite all those stairs.
Security, I suppose.
Hmm? Oh, no covers, you mean? Yes, that used not to happen until the Germans discovered that certain people were smuggling in contraband inside false covers. Maps, German money, even hacksaw blades.
Ah.
So now the censors strip every book that comes in.
Bloody Philistines.
To tell the truth, I'm glad. Well, I don't like it, naturally enough. I mean, books being torn apart. But if it means that those of us who are not interested in escaping can get on with what we want to do without serving as a front for Flight Lieutenant Carter and his crowd, then well and good.
Do I gather you disapprove of Flight Lieutenant Carter and his crowd?
Well, no, I don't disapprove, no. But what I resent is the suggestion that the rest of us, the vast majority, I might add, exist only to serve their needs.
And has that ever been suggested?
Oh, by implication, yes. Yes. All this stuff about it being a prisoner's duty to escape. All that means is that any man who spends his time digging tunnels that come out nowhere, or cutting his way through a barbed wire fence and getting shot for his trouble, is a better man than the rest of us. And I just don't believe that's true.
Nor do I. But I thought everyone here was supposed to be a potential escaper.
Oh, potential, yes. I mean, I escaped twice. While I was in transit. Well, it just happened. Easily. But now I'm in Colditz. Have you thought of the odds of getting out of here?
And yet they go on trying.
Yes. A handful. The desperados, I call them.
But why?
Because it is something to do. That's the biggest danger here, not the Germans. Boredom. Our problem is survival, staying sane and helping others to stay sane, thinking, preparing. There's going to be a hell of a lot to do when we get out of here. We'll be needed. And that's where my thoughts are. On the job ahead. I suppose that's the mainstay of my... morale is the word, isn't it? Do you know what morale is? It's what you get drunk on when you can't get alcohol.
All I'm asking is that you give it a try.
I'm sorry, Chalky, but it's just out of the question.
What harm can it do? I mean, the worst that can happen is I won't even get over the wire.
Well, if that were the case, I'd have no objection.
But then I don't understand.
Look, every escape, every attempted escape has meant a tightening up of security. When Player and Walsh went, that was one more hole plugged, one less chance for the next man. Now, if that's the price we've got to pay, we've got to make sure that every plan has a chance, and a good chance of success. It's only fair on everyone else.
Well, according to you, we might as well all give up.
That's not what we meant.
Well, excuse me if that's how it sounds.
Simon, I really don't think there's any point in going on with this.
I agree.
Now, wait a minute.
Ulmann.
Don't disturb yourselves, gentlemen.
Oh, don't worry, Hauptmann. We won't.
You're looking for something?
Why don't you try the library?
God's sake.
What's the point, Simon? We all know who he's looking for.
Yeah, ironic, isn't it? There I was thinking it was the best thing for morale since Red Cross parcels. And he just turns into a liability.
Starting to say that if a man like Tony Shaw doesn't think he can get out of here, then what chance have the rest of us got?
No need for further surveillance.
It's been only a week, sir, but the pattern seems established. He spends his mornings taking a class in literature and his afternoons reading or writing. In fact, I sense a distinct hostility between Mr. Shaw and some of the high-risk prisoners.
It could be a cover, of course. The prisoner expects to be watched and behaves accordingly.
It is possible, sir.
But you think unlikely?
I think we should remain cautious, sir.
Very wise decision.
Thank you, sir.
Of course, it could be, I would like to think so in this case, it could be that the academic temperament has triumphed over heroic ambition. Who knows? Prost.
Prost, sir.
Good afternoon, Major. What a surprise. Bronte. Emily Bronte. She was a novelist. In my opinion, an excellent one.
A woman?
Some of our finest writers have been women. Does that surprise you?
Why should it? They have little else to do. You are preparing your next lesson, presumably.
Yes.
Are you planning to take over from Mr. Porteous as schoolmaster in residence?
Not take over. Help a little.
But you are the more highly qualified, are you not?
Yes. Strictly speaking, that is so.
And the senior officer. And yet you are prepared to work under him.
Not under him, with him.
And what kind of man do you find you, Mr. Porteous?
An admirable man, in many ways.
Hmm?
You disagree?
He was the least troublesome of prisoners. I am pleased to see you follow his example, though frankly I'm surprised.
Oh?
From your record. War hero turned schoolmaster? Or perhaps it was a case of schoolmaster turned war hero now reverting to type.
If you think there's any difference. You seem to imply that there's something special, something extraordinary about what you call the war hero. But it simply isn't true, is it?
Then rather not more.
Luck? Good, bad, or both?
I want you to know that I'm not taken in by all this.
I don't understand. Taken in by what?
This pose you have chosen to adopt, the bookish, academic. Some may be deceived, not me. I thought I should warn you.
Thank you, but it's not a pose.
I find that impossible to believe.
Why, if I might ask, Major?
Because I know too well what goes into the kind of service record you have.
For instance?
Courage, resolution, to prove yourself worthy of the thing you believe in.
Thing or person? At any rate, to prove yourself.
Yes, Mr. Shaw. To prove yourself.
There are other reasons for doing things apart from proving yourself. Doing something for its own sake. Doing it well, not to prove anything. Even doing it badly, perhaps.
You are speaking of yourself.
All I've proved is that it's possible for the most ordinary man to become a war hero. Not the most special, the most ordinary. I learned to fly before the war. It was a rich man's hobby. I learned as the guest of a rich friend. I knew I was competent, better than competent, but not special. On top of that, I knew I had a clear head. It's my job, thinking clearly about literature. Well, come the war, I put the two together. Clear head, flying. And the marriage worked. Better than my own. That's all it is, this heroism. Of course, I'm not comparing myself with you, Major.
I'm not supposed you were.
You are a fighting man, a professional soldier, whereas I, in photographic reconnaissance, am hardly more than an observer.
It would seem you took too close a look, Mr. Shaw, since here you are.
Nobody's infallible.
That is true. Here we both are. An invalid guarding a schoolmaster.
George. You're right.
What's the matter?
Just had a nightmare on this.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. You feel better?
I'm sorry.
Very positive conclusion, Mayor.
Yes, sir. I have never known a priority classification more inappropriate.
You don't think there's any possibility of his attempting to mislead us?
None, sir.
What makes you so certain?
The man is without honor, sir.
Hey, what would you say about that?
May I think about it?
Why not? The author did for 20 years. Well, I'm glad you're in.
Where do they get the energy?
Oh, keep it going. I suggest we find a corner somewhere. That is, if anybody wants to carry on.
Oh, look. Sorry we're driving you out, old man.
It's all right. Why don't you come and join us?
Yes, I'd like to. And make a change from concussion. Oh, sorry. See what I mean?
Where's that ball?
Go in again.
I'm sorry to butt in.
I'm just going for a spot of literary chat. Feed the mind, you know?
I won't keep you for a minute. I wondered if we could have 5 minutes.
Now?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Well, another time then.
Fine.
You'll be welcome.
Thank you.
Butterfingers again.
What was all that about?
Oh, Simon wanted a word with him.
Not more time.
Oh, he's just going to join his English class.
What, you?
If he talks anything like Simon says he flies, he must be worth listening.
Where's that fly half guy?
Look, Carter, these fellows accept me for what I am. I'm doing no harm, conceivably some good.
Yes, but the men will accept you for whatever you choose. I mean, that's just my point.
I'm afraid I don't follow.
Well, I'm asking you to give your moral support, nothing more, to those of us who are trying to get chaps out of here.
We've been through this already. I don't know how many...
I'm not asking you to do anything, just give your support. I mean, look at them in there. They're knocking themselves out like punch bags to stop from going crazy. They're losing the feeling that at least there's some hope that this place isn't unbreakable. I mean, it was something to aim for.
Carter, it's your problem. I'm not going to try and sell them something I don't believe in. Maybe a few have got away, maybe a few more will. But for everybody else, it's as much an impossible dream as waking up a millionaire and married to Mae West. If anyone asks me, that's what I'll say. I got better things to do than to play any part in your cheap heroics. The odds are unrealistic. It's a waste of time.
Do you always calculate everything like an adding machine?
If you like, I do, yes.
Yeah, well, maybe you're calculating on winning all round in this war. I mean, you're already pretty solid back home. Maybe if things go the other way, you'll get a medal from Hitler for good behaviour.
No, Simon, I will not talk to him.
Sir, as senior British officer...
As senior British officer, I will not abuse that position. I think escape is a matter for individual judgment. I will only intervene when someone is deliberately obstructing an escape attempt. As far as I can see, all Squadron Leader Shaw wants is to be left alone.
I've been thinking of learning Polish.
Polish?
Something to do. And I thought, hell, I'm pretty well illiterate in my own language, so why bother with another?
What do you talk about in these sessions?
Oh, anything. Everything. I may do a correspondence course next. Law. You know, set up as a solicitor when this lot's over. Which reminds me, I must talk to Tommy Adams about that.
And why not?
Look here, sir, I owe you an apology. I had no right to say what I did.
And let's forget it.
So I suggest you read through the passages I've marked and let me have your notes tomorrow.
So far,
Fine. Do you know how many books there have been written here? In Colditz?
How many?
300, at least.
All about the war?
Oh, Lord, no. Mostly it's men just putting their thoughts onto paper for the first time in their lives. It's a kind of mental exercise.
Well, from today, it's going to be 301.
Yes. And the first with a full-time, unpaid research assistant. There we are.
Thanks. You know, James, I couldn't wish for anything more. All I need to write the one book I've been meaning to write ever since I was a student, if only I could find the time.
You found the time now.
What kind of book?
19th century English literature, sir.
The manuscript will be thoroughly examined for any trace of code.
With respect, sir, there's no danger. He says he does not want to publish until after the war, so he'll take it with him when he's released.
What is it?
In the door.
Before we realised, just tearing them up.
Got through half the papers in a map paper style.
Captain Holland, this will not happen again because in future you won't know where these things are kept. In the meantime, I suggest you pull yourself together. You're not the first officer who's had an escape plan turned down, you know.
That was rather my point, sir.
Yes. All right, you can go.
Sir?
Yes, all right, Simon, I know, but that man is far too near cracking for me to read the riot act to him. I'll have to have the doc keep an eye on him in future.
Well, I could never have okayed that cockeyed scheme of his.
No, I realise that. Anyway, he's no longer a candidate for escape.
Well, it's like a lot of chaps here, sir. I mean, he'd make a jolly good member of an escape team. If only we had some project to work on.
Ah. How's it going? I'm more out of touch than I thought. Have to do a lot of rereading.
Well, I suppose you'd find out...
The main problem is distractions. No privacy. How do most of them manage?
Oh, best they can. Odd corners.
I must find one.
Yes, well, I'll leave you to it. We're looking at Elliot, if you'd like to. Right. I'll see you. Because I know that time is always time, and place is always and only place, and what is actual only for one time, and only for one place. I rejoice that things are as they are, and I renounce the blessed face, and renounce the voice. Because I cannot hope to turn again, consequently I rejoice, having to construct something upon which to rejoice. And pray to...
He's starting to give me the creeps.
Shaw! Shaw! Odd quiet corners, you said?
What in God's name is this?
What does it look like? It's the roof.
I had no idea.
You mean you never saw that grate down there?
Well, yes, but I thought it was some kind of, I don't know, ventilation.
There's a proper staircase over there with the door at the bottom. Locked. This must have been some sort of escape route once into what is now the library.
Well, it's a large castle. What are you doing?
I've been rereading them. Rubbish, the whole damn lot. Rubbish. I can't do it, James. It just isn't there.
Well, give it time. You've barely started.
I started 5 years ago. I didn't mention that. I always swore that after I got my fellowship at Oxford, security, I was going to write this book. All the college politics, the wheeling and the dealing, were just preparation for this book and others to follow. Great works of criticism, original, illuminating. But I was just putting it off. And when I finally tried, like now, nothing there.
Listen to me.
No, I want to explain. Please try to understand. I have no originality. I can absorb other men's ideas, pass them on, teach, but I have none of my own. Nothing to say that hasn't been said 1,000 times already, and better. I thought maybe now it would be different, now that Moan was right.
Moan?
And so was I, maybe. I'm not so different from him. Only very ordinary men need to prove themselves. All I've proved is that I needed to prove something. It hasn't changed me. And the truth is, God help me, I still need it. The gongs, the acclamation. I like being what they want me to be. It's all I can be.
Well, I don't know what I can say. Except that you're wrong. Look, I know that...
Look, what do you think about this? Not bad, eh? It's my notes again. Best end to them. Launching would be a problem, of course, but it should be possible with some kind of heavy weight and just, shoot the thing off the bloody roof. I don't want to bore you gentlemen with a whole lot of mathematical calculations, but I can assure you they are sound. It's a 32-foot span, giving a wing area of 162 square feet. The rudder here, that's the only part of the design which isn't original. That's the Luton Buzzard model.
It's fantastic.
So luckily I found all kinds of stuff in the library. Newton's airframes, aircraft design.
Things Jerry thought we'd have no use for you.
Yeah, well, technically there are very few problems. Raw materials, of course, but basically it's just a matter of time and manpower.
You'll get that all right. When did you come up with this idea?
The other day when I found this place above the library. We build a false wall, then we have the perfect workshop, then open up the roof down one side, and it's a straight 300-yard glide to the river. I began to think there was no way out, and suddenly I saw it.
What's all this about?
Just showing some drawings.
Isn't this something you should have kept for the escape committee?
Oh, sorry, didn't think.
You're surely not going to turn this one down, Simon.
Well, unlike Squadron Leader Shaw, I'm prepared to wait for the committee's decision.
Look, Simon, this was just...
What?
Nothing. Forget it.
Damn it, Simon, this is the most spectacular escape anyone's come up with yet, and you're quibbling about our bloody committee? Well, most of them are here now. Why didn't you ask them what they think?
The escape committee meets tonight. Until then, I've got nothing to say, and I trust no one else has.
All right, so we had no right to go behind Simon's back.
It's a brilliant idea.
Well, don't you think so?
I know it is.
Anyway, that's the idea. Some enormous weight. It'll go...
A glider? Good God.
Yeah, plans, material. I mean, he's got the whole thing worked out to the last detail.
What did you say?
Which is about the most ridiculous scheme I've ever heard.
You turned him down?
No, sir, but I shall have to advise the escape committee against it.
Why?
Well, after the way he's behaved.
His behavior has nothing to do with the merits of his plan, nor of the reasons for changing his mind, whatever they might be.
Well, I find it pretty hard to swallow this attitude of his that he can just come along in his own sweet time and expect the rest of us to jump at his say-so.
I see. If you'd come along in your sweet time and at your say-so, you'd have backed this plan, would you?
That's not what I meant, sir.
Surely he's only asking for what you attempted to force on him when he first came here. Absolute priority, I think, is what you said.
As I recall, sir, it was you that said you were opposed to star status, I think you called it, for one individual prisoner. Now he comes along and he wants 50 men to work for God knows how many months just to get him out of here. One man! What do you call that?
If the men are willing.
You mean you back him up?
I shall back whatever decision the escape committee arrive at. But I'm not going to turn this down out of hand, if that's what you expect.
Carter didn't stand a chance. Not once I put it to the chaps. He tried to argue that it was a hell of a lot of work to put into one man's escape, but I trumped him there. I point out it's a two-seat glider. The passenger can be anyone the committee votes in. They'll all be working for it.
So you're all set, hmm?
All set. James, there's something I have to tell you. You won't like it. I'm afraid you're going to have to provide cover.
Cover? How do you mean?
This. It's the only way in.
But you said there was another door. The far end.
Locked. And on the same floor, some Kraut's office. All the materials and men will have to come through here.
No.
I'm sorry, James, but there's nothing I can do.
My God, Shaw, haven't you done enough without destroying this place? It's the only place in the whole damn building!
Captain Porteous, I cannot allow anyone to disrupt an escape attempt.
In that case, sir, I suggest that we close the library altogether.
No, James, I'm sorry. I don't think you understand. The library must appear to function as usual, and I shall rely upon you to see that it does.
Is that an order, sir?
Yes, that is an order.
It is, waiter.
Thank you. But the screw comes out.
Mind your head.
Yes, we've got to do that.